Hi, welcome to today's video diary for finding my way with Pi, purpose, intention, and emotion. I am Pi, and today I would like to talk about the importance of awareness on our own mental health and emotional well-being, and I would say overall well-being. Specifically awareness of ourselves in a moment when something may trigger us or we are outside of, how we want to be, how we want to, the person we want to be, how we want to act. So let me tell a story because I find that is the best way that I can convey the emotion that I'm reflecting on. And before I tell this story, let me quickly just say that awareness is step number one. And sometimes we may need a little leverage point or something that helps us be aware. I don't have all the answers there. I can't even tell you what it was. Yes, I can. I can tell you what it was that popped me into awareness, but in the normal day-to-day, I'm not sure what would pop me into awareness, but it's worth asking ourselves the question and contemplating it and experimenting a little bit. But awareness of your thoughts and how you're emotionally reacting and what you're feeling in that moment, when a struggle or some discomfort or anxiety or stress or something comes up for you in that way is the first step. And then accepting them is the next step, just acceptance. And then, thinking about what is most important right now and how can I act accordingly, taking control back. Instead of just being a victim to the whims of how you were feeling in the external situation, to take that control back and has a significant impact on well-being, emotionally and mentally. So I want to tell a story of awareness that happened to me today, just so you can hear, and I can remember really more than anything is so that I can remember, because I've really been working on this as a mom. Here's the story. So I have agreed to help out a friend. So one of my son's friends, his mom and I had connected, and she was looking for a summer option for her kid during the day, because it's summertime now and school's out, and he's at an age where she didn't want him to be home alone. And I said, well, maybe I could help you, because I'm picking up jobs here and there while I'm working on my master's, and I'm in between jobs, and I'm working with my career coach. So maybe I could watch your son for you, and he can hang out with my son for a few days. That happened today. Well, it just so happened that this morning the weather was cloudy and it was cold outside, and it's, almost June, but we had one of those days. And so I couldn't take them to the pool right away. So they were kind of like stuck inside a little bit. And they started getting everything out, like building forts and making messes and just tearing up the house and making it a disaster. Hopefully, other parents out there can relate to this, but it triggers me when that happens. And I'm like, ooh, and I just get very restrictive and would be like, no, don't take that out. No, put that away. Stop. Oh my God, you're making such a mess. And my stress level goes up. And I think part of the reason it does, or at least, I don't know, I've just experienced so many times that it's not picked up, despite how many times we try to teach that and push that. And then it's there and I end up cleaning it up, and it's frustrating. Here I was, anxiety spiking and feeling frustrated, and I wasn't speaking yet, but my son was looking at me and I was looking at him, and he was I could see his little look in his eye like, uh-oh, mom looks like she's not like this. And then I look over next to him and I see his friend, and his friend is looking at me. But his friend doesn't know me. And so his friend has this expectant look on his face, like excited and eager, like, can we build this fort? And I realized it's summertime. They don't have school. My house does not need to be perfect. And what if they worked together, built a fort, and had this imaginative, creative hours worth of just enjoyment as a kid? I could rob them of that. What is the most kind and loving thing I can do right now? And what kind of mom do I want to be right now? It was the look from my son coupled with the look from his friend that brought this moment of awareness to me, just snapped me into reality and into this present moment. And I took a deep breath and I said, yes, you can build a fort as long as you give me a tour. And my son's face, he lit up. Really? He says, because I don't let them do that often enough. I said, yep. And he goes, okay, Mom. I recognized and identified the thoughts that I was having were, my house is going to be torn up and messy and won't get put back together, and I'll have to do all of it, and I won't have any help. And then even worse, kids are disrespectful, they don't care, they're gonna, play with their electronics instead of helping around the house and picking up their mess, and just negative. And then I started getting anxiety and frustration and just feeling like resistant to all of that and frustrated and all of that. That moment of awareness that snapped me into, oh my gosh, that's what I'm thinking and feeling. And wait a minute, what do I want to be thinking and feeling instead? I identified that. I want for them to have an opportunity to play together, to create together, to have that imaginative play. They grow so fast. They should be able to take advantage of these days. And after all, doesn't that align with my personal value? Isn't this an opportunity to teach my son this personal value of live life to the fullest? If I say, don't get the sheets out of the linen closet to build a fort, he's losing an opportunity. And truly at the end of the day, what is the worst harm that's going to happen? And isn't it an opportunity to teach him how to clean up without nagging? Maybe I could just be like, I need your help. Here's specifically what I need. And then I was like, all right, well, how do I want to act right now? I accepted it. That was a trigger for me. I accept that's where it is, but this is really the mom I want to be. And so I said, yep, go for it and give me a tour when you're done. They used up the loft, like an entire room. They created this elaborate fort. They had lookouts, they had bedrooms, they had picnic space, they had all this stuff. And they were like popping out of the little tops, the holes that they had made like little gophers. And those were their lookouts. And I came up and they gave me a tour, and it was something like, it was the last space on earth is what they called their fort. It was in the middle of the woods, they said. And I could hear them as they were constructing it together. They were creatively building, and should this go there? No, it should go over there. Wait, look at this one. Oh, this shape is better. Let's switch those two out. Like, they were collaborating, which is great skills for them to learn, especially in play, because it's fun and they're just welcoming it in. And then I would hear them say to each other, status report, status report. And so they were giving like reports to each other on the progress of their building, or if they saw anyone coming, like mom. Or something like that. So it was just so cool. They gave me a tour. I was able to take pictures of them, which I'll have forever, because I make a family yearbook at the end of every year, and I write our memories down and capture them and print it into a photo book. So we've got family yearbooks. It's going in that. And I also was able to capture the moment and send these pictures to his friend's mom. I texted them to her. She was working, and sent those to her. And she was like, oh my God, this made my day. I love this. And thank you so much. This is such valuable time. If I had not become aware of my rising anxiety and reaction and trying to control this just to keep my house neat, that doesn't matter nearly as much as the experience that my son had and the experience that I got to have with him and the memory that we made. So awareness, acceptance, value, what's most important to you, action. What do you want to do with it? You choose. What do you want to do with it? And man, if I could access that every day, because here's another really important thing. And I just want everyone to realize this, like, I'm not perfect. We all deviate. This is something that was talked about in the lecture, actually, in my happiness studies program for my master's this week. The point is not to sustain and be that perfect version of yourself all the time. That's not the point. Why? Because that's kind of impossible. Okay, we all deviate. Life happens, we have triggers, we are human, our minds may take over, or we're mindlessly in reaction mode. We all have those moments. There's so many factors that impact us at any one given point in time. The point is, the goal is, the most important thing is about returning to and practicing being who you want to be. So it's just the act of practice. We're all going to deviate at times. It happens. Wouldn't you say it's better to try and experience, even if it was 20% of the time, which would grow over time, by the way, the more you practice, but say it's even 20% of the time that you are able to consciously act and be and tap into your life and yourself in that way and who you want to be, isn't that better than none at all? And just suffering and feeling bad and having these negative thought trances that you're just stuck in all the time. That's how we get to unhappiness. Awareness and that consciousness of ourselves helps us get to happiness. Again, happiness is not the absence of pain or the absence of uncomfortable emotions. It's the acceptance of them. The goal is not to get rid of them. The goal is to welcome them as part of the whole and consciously live. That's the best we can do, because there is no such thing as getting rid of them. So awareness, that is what I'm thinking about today and reflecting on. And I just love that I got to live this today. I am so excited that today I feel like I got to practice this and I feel good about it. And that energy and that feeling is going to fuel me to keep trying, to keep returning to it, because I won't be perfect and I won't do it 100% of the time. But every experience I have where I'm able to bring myself into awareness in the moment and I can practice this and practice and practice it, it's going to help. And it's going to help it grow into an even bigger practice in my life and spill out into other things. So it starts small. There's small interactions. This is what it looks like. So thanks for being with me on this journey. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope it helps you too. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.